rise and shine. Coffee's brewing, feeling fine. News is out and on the air. Shizzy whiz nuts wild, but we don't care. Morning whiz and coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy whiz nuts, start the show. Let's go. Spinning in the breeze, stupid jokes, he's such a tease. Sip the Java with a smile. Pants are off, but stay a while. Morning whiz and coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy whiz, let's start the show. Let's go. Get it, yeah, oh yeah. Headlines spinning in the breeze, stupid jokes, he's such a tease. Sip the Java, wear a smile. Pants are off, but stay a while. Morning whiz and coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy whiz, let's start the show. Let's go. Get it, yeah, oh yeah. Serious is overrated. Every day we're caffeinated. Talk the town, but in a jest. Morning whiz is always best. Time to run. Morning show's a load of fun. Grab your mug, don't spill a drop. Laugh your ass off till you pop. Clock is ticking, time to run. Morning show's a load of fun. Grab your mug, don't spill a drop. Laugh your ass off till you pop.
Oh my god, Shizzy breaks Larry. Shizzy broke Larry.
Good morning, everybody. How are you doing today? Man, oh man. As T-Rex, my buddy T-Rex, how you doing, brother? As T-Rex says, happy Fedseration Day. T-Rex, you know what? That deserves a nice happy star for you, brother. I got you. Yes, that one is for you, brother. Yes, today is everybody is, I'm sure, well aware. Today is the 2025 counting certification of electoral votes. And guess what? It has been designated a national special security event. Washington, and this was put out of 9/11/2024. Imagine that, 9/11/2024, the 2025 counting certification of electoral votes in Washington, D.C. on January 6, 2025 has been designated a national security special event by the Secretary of Homeland Security and marks the first time a national special security event designated has been granted for a certification of electoral votes, and follows a request made by the D.C. mayor to designate this event a national special security event. Various reports include the House Select January 6th Committee, go figure, and the Government Accountability Office also called for the DHS Secretary to consider a national special security event designated for future certification of electoral votes. National special security events are the event of the highest national significance, said Eric Rannigan, the special agent in charge of the U.S. Secret Service's Dignitary Protective Division. The U.S. Secret Service, in collaboration with our federal, state, and local partners, are committed to developing and implementing a comprehensive and integrated security plan to ensure the safety and security of this event and its participants. The formal planning process is underway with the formation of the Executive Steering Committee, and Executive Steering Committee is made up of senior representatives from federal, state, and local enforcement, public safety partners, and will begin convening in the coming weeks. In addition to the 25 counting certification of electoral votes on January 6th, the 2025 presidential inauguration on January 20th, was previously designated national special security event, and planning has been ongoing for several months. This designation allows for the significant resources from the federal government as well from state and local partners to be utilized in a comprehensive security plan. When an event is designated a national special security event, the U.S. Secret Service assumes its mandated role as the lead agency for the design and implementation of the operational security plan. So, folks, if it goes all haywire, you know who to blame. Yes. Oh, yeah, I saw that this morning. I was like, oh, isn't that special? So they've known since 9/11/2024 what they were doing. Just keep that in mind. 9/11/2024, they knew exactly what was going to happen this go round. Well, they didn't know exactly what was going to happen, but they've supposedly planned for every contingency. So if something goes wrong, don't go blaming Democrats. Don't go blaming Republicans. Don't go blaming the independents. You can look to the U.S. Secret Service and blame them for things not being done properly. If somebody comes along and says, I don't know what happened, well, now you will. Now you know exactly what happened, where it went haywire. But do you know? I blame Jeremy. Hey, Joe. Good to see you. Good morning. Oh, gosh. Oh, you guys have no idea. I've been working to get my little shop set up in the for the YouTube. So I will have some merchandise coming very soon. I was talking behind the scenes with some people saying, how can we make this happen? How can we get this all to work out right? And it's just a couple of other things that need to be set up for it. Yes, we all know now it will be the Secret Service that causes any issues that go haywire. And you can also get Secret Service news straight to your inbox if you if you order their crap. Oh, so we've got some interesting news. Just bear with me because I can't. I guess I'll have to put my disclaimer up there because there you go. This channel cannot confirm any of what you see or hear is true or correct. I deny all ability of comprehensive thought this morning. Tinfoil Hatter Day. Get your popcorn. The Vegas car boomer was a whistleblower. Interesting, isn't it? On January 1st, a boom explosion of a 2024 Cybertruck in front of Trump's Vegas hotel did exactly what the man behind the wheel wanted. It got the nation's attention, and there is more. Factorama booming the Tesla made by Elon Musk packed with fireworks in front of a Trump hotel on Father's Day after deleting himself is hard to ignore. Yet there's nothing on the cause. Just keep this in mind. This was an active Green Beret, Matthew Livesberger, 37, allegedly boomed a Tesla Cybertruck while almost simultaneously booming himself. The bodily was badly burned in the explosion of the fire. The explosion occurred several hours after an attack in New Orleans committed by a ISIS-inspired man who once served in the army. Livelsberger and the New Orleans terror suspect both spent time at Fort Bragg, and both used the same car rental app to secure the vehicles they used. And though it was burned beyond recognition, he was identified by his tattoos. His cell phone and ID were somehow not destroyed. My first thought was the Vegas attack was related to the New Orleans related booming spree, or perhaps the work of a whiny Antifa brag as a threat to Trump and Elon Musk, as the various media pundits tried to unravel the motive for the Vegas explosion. An intelligence officer named Sam Shoemate was recording a podcast with Sean Ryan, and it would rock the nation. And what Shoemate told Ryan said it's going to change the course of humanity. Shoemate told Ryan that Leisberger contacted him on his Instagram account with a doomsday message days before the Vegas explosion, and he claimed, "What I'm going to send you is going to change the course of humanity." He also asked Shoemate if he could forward the message to Fox News incoming Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and Sean Ryan. Shoemate claimed he woke up on New Year's Day after the boom boom in Vegas to learn that Livelsberger had sent him a manifesto before deleting himself, asking Shoemate to keep it and his name under wraps until January 1st. This was the first time that he had seen it. Now, I'm not going to read that, but it is out there for you to read at some point in time. The manifesto, which is below, explains how the drones over East Coast are from China and are flown by a technology called graphic propulsion. Graphitic propulsion, a sophisticated technology only used by the US and China. He explains that the drones can carry an unlimited payload and can be parked over the White House. He also states the Chinese are flying the drones as a show of force, and they are using it similar to how they use the balloon, referred to the Chinese spy balloon that Biden allowed to do a figure eights over some of our military bases several years ago. Livelsberger also suggested he's being followed by the FBI or Homeland Security agents, though he believes they won't move on him because he's armed and has a sizable boom boom in his vehicle. The manifesto then takes an unexpected turn after admitting that his knowledge of the secret propulsion technology. He states that he has information about alleged war crimes. Deemed such by the United Nations, committed in Afghanistan in 2019, crimes he helped orchestrate and later conceal. Interesting. And it goes deeper. It was, he states the following. Like I said, none of this I can confirm to be true. This was not a terrorist attack. It was a wake-up call. Americans pay attention to spectacles and violence. What better way to get my point across than a stunt with fireworks and explosives? Why did I personally do it? Now I needed to cleanse my mind of the brothers I've lost and relieve myself of the burdens of the lives that I took. On another note in his phone, Livelsberger claims that we Americans are being led by a weak and feckless leadership who only serves to enrich themselves. As the podcast proceeds, Ryan states that his people did some research and found a UN report about the U.S. bombing of more than 60 buildings in Afghanistan in 2019 that were allegedly being used to produce narcotics, suggested Livelsberger's story does add up. Factorama. Ryan states that the podcast that the military official contacted him and said DNA from Livelsberger's son proves the child is not his, perhaps to suggest as a motive for the explosion. As expected, the deep state is now using its Operation Mockingbird media morons to paint Livelsberger as a troubled soldier. FBI Special Agent Spencer Evans told the media, although this incident is more public and more sensational than usual, it ultimately appears that the tragic case of suicide involving a heavily decorated combat veteran who is struggling with PTSD and other issues. Later in the podcast, Shoemate states that Livelsberger's safety number on the Signal message app was changed after the explosion, leading some people to suggest the body found may not be that of Livelsberger or that someone else somehow changed the number. Some people have been wondering if someone put an already burned body in the car and using the self-driving mode had the car deliver itself to Trump Hotel. In fact, Elon Musk has confirmed that the Cybertruck can function, was not in self-drive mode when it arrived at the Trump Hotel. Other reports claiming Livelsberger was depressed as his wife had recently left him over allegations of infidelity, leaving the New York Post to state, with the new development in the case, investigators are probing whether the soldier's motive was purely personal rather than political as previously considered, given the location of the detonation choice of the vehicle. Now, Ryan takes a break during the podcast to search through the thousands of incoming emails to his podcast to find if Livelsberger had contacted the show. They found an unread email from Livelsberger that arrived a few days before the Vegas blast. Though unrelated, the last 11 minutes of the podcast are the most terrifying. Shoemate tells us he has reliable information that the Iranians have stuck surface-to-air missiles into the U.S. ostensibly to assassinate Trump, and no one knows where they are. Ryan goes on to say, we're giving tens of millions of dollars per week to the Taliban, which then pays that money to their non-governmental organizations, which then use the money to train terrorists to kill Americans, and how woefully unprepared we are. You can watch the entire Sean Ryan podcast right there. Now, I'm not going to read through his manifesto. It is something that, if you're interested in it, you can get a nice little piece of the PJ Media. Yes, PJ Media. They do have I'm sure they have a discount code. I haven't discovered it yet, but they do have a discount code if you are interested in reading that over on PJ Media. I don't condone these kinds of things whatsoever. So there's that. But the rabbit hole does go deep. It does go pretty hard. And there's other information out there, but be careful which way you look at this. If you're going to look at this, you need to look at it with a very open mind. And remember, don't say anything about this until you can confirm it to all be true or factual. I can't do any of that right now. I don't have the means or the ability, but you too can donate to my charity. No, it is like I said, I can't confirm about 90% of some of the conspiracy theories that I've heard out there. It is pretty interesting to me that I did see something where um, the two terrorists had actually done a reality show in the 90s together, so they knew each other intimately. Well, maybe not intimately, but they did know each other, or there's some tie in there. I guess that I've been so busy with a million other things I haven't had time to look into it. There are other people that are smarter than me, which is a lot. They have probably looked into quite a bit of this. Um, listen to what they have to say and make up your mind for yourself. But we do have KDJ's bourbon inspired predictions for 2025, and says buckle up Islam. Well, he says he thought he'd write down some predictions for 2025. He wasn't sure if this was he did this kind of story last year, so he checked in. Whammo, yes, he did. Bourbon? What? No wonder I couldn't remember. Before I consider potentially humiliating myself with insane predictions, as he did during the 2022 midterm elections. Let's see how accurate he was last year. Reading my prediction for the 2022 midterms leaves me wonder if I was writing a manic episode during a scorching case of bipolar that I've yet to be diagnosed with. The bourbon-inspired predictions are every bit as accurate as Sister Rita Mary's eraser throwing arm, as I learned at St. Peter's and Paul Elementary School in Detroit when I experienced what I would later be called Petite Mall Caesars. So these are what he said: that Biden will bail after the Democrat National Convention and won't run for another term. Grumpy Joe will find health-related reasons to step down. Possibly medical excuses will include the inability to stop soiling himself. Yes, he will pardon his crackhead progeny on the way out, and the DNC will then pick someone new. Not Camel Toe. She will be promised a spot on the Supreme Court. Look for Governor Stretch and Gretchen and or Lizard Boy Gavin Newsom. No, not too shabby. My timing on Biden's bailout was off, and I knew Hunter would get a pardon, but I didn't see the Democrats being dumb enough to run camel toe. Number two was another one of his predictions. There will be an attempt on Trump life, many more if he wins. Expect a lone wolf, Lee Harvey Oswald, who, by the way, wasn't totally helped by the CIA, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Perhaps a rogue Secret Service guy. And Shazam, hey, we still have heard about the Shooters 3 encrypted overseas messaging apps, and he wasn't a rogue USS agent, but he did practice at a range used by federal agents. Number three, I will not lose 15 pounds. I claim I will. He says, I lost some weight, but gained most of it back. And then number four, Democrats will cheat in 2024. Did the Republicans win any of those House seat races in California that took weeks to count? Enough said. Predictions 5 and 6 were about what would happen if Trump lost the election, so he wasn't going to post them. Number 7, if Trump wins, the real street violence begins. 5, 4, 3. Need more proof than my mad auspicious skills. Soothsayer Rama, one thing is clear: sober KDG would shut up, but tipsy KDG is a living, breathing crystal ball. So, what do I vaticinate for 2025? More importantly, do I do this alone, or do I wait to ask from my friend, Colonel E.H. Taylor Jr.? As it's almost noon, I couldn't crack the bourbon this early, and I clearly needed it if I was going to be accurate. Sorry, I'm going to have to wait until, as my grandmother would say, bars open before sending me to mix her first of many highballs of the day. Thank you, Celine, for the 5 gifted memberships. Every single one of you guys. Thank you very much. I appreciate everything that you do here. Oh, that is beautiful, Celine. I'll get you a green star for that one. Yes. Yes. The gifted memberships do so much for this channel. You have no idea how far those go. It allows people to get a lot of things pretty early on. Yes. So, prediction 1, the jargons have just begun. Joe Biden will pass stay out of jail free cards like blackjack dealer with a nose full of disco dust. I expect him to pardon no fewer than 3 people named Biden. Dr. Fauci, FBI Director Christopher Wray, Merrick Garland, most of all, Americans' public enemy number 1, Alondra Marakis, and some of the most egregious bog hogs who could suckle on Biden's teat of forgiveness. Quagorama. Mr. Ray may not have to worry. Disgraced anti-American FBI big shot Andrew McCabe spent years spewing the lie for years in an attempt to remove our duly elected president from office. He was fired but sued and won everything he had lost, back pay, etc. He snagged a $500,000 book deal as well and another $500,000 from a GoFundMe account. The swap protects and rewards itself. I also suspect a tumulus of not so famous DC swamp wigglers are backdooring their way into Pardonville, now sucking up to Jill as Joe takes the big boy's nap, expecting lifelong uniparty hangers-ons to have their hands out and get multi-year exonerations before Big Daddy Trump unburdens the White House from what has been prediction number 2. All front war against Trump and the MAGA. Joe Biden is already burning down the farm and burying some landmines before Trump takes back the big house. Some of Biden's moves will cause headaches for Trump. And the Operation Mockingbird media morons are planning to blame Trump for Biden's coddle swallow. Oh, like banning offshore drilling in a way that Trump may not be able to reverse. Watching the remains of CNN and MSNBC attack Trump for not immediately lowering gas prices. The Pravada press, the swamp, the courts, and every other Marxist domination institution will rise to what may be the final battle. The deep state and Trump are fighting for their lives. Communists do not just pack up and go home when things aren't going their way. Expect real battle to be fought in the next 2 years. If Republicans can keep the House in January of 2026, the war will continue. If not, Trump could be impeached, convicted, and possibly jailed. I write this as Judge Juan Merchan claims that Trump will not go to jail unless he is arrested again. Expect him to be arrested again. I can smell the bird flu pandemic in the near future. The communists will try to stir up all sorts of pandemonium. Keep an eye out on the DOJ and the FBI. Crossfire Hurricane may have been a mere appetizer compared to what the deep state has up its sleeves this year. The Bolsheviks have only one playbook. Expect them to stick to it and watch as it all becomes laughable. Thank you, Richie Rickles 64, for becoming the newest member of this YouTube spot. We appreciate you. We appreciate your support so much. Thank you, Ricky. Rickles, sorry. Thank you very much. Look at this. Lauren, we got to talk. I got to say that we got to talk. And I'm getting you a star there, Rickles. This is for you. Star for you, Rickles. So, Lauren, cheers, and cheers, because it seems to me that you've got a bunch of people reaching out to you, Lauren, that really want to have you on on their streams. Why is it that they want to have you on their streams? It's amazing to me that they don't realize that Lauren does not follow this nor care anything about it. So for all of you idiots out there that want to drag Lauren in on this kind of crap, just know that she says go pound dirt, F off, and I don't care. And if you want her to dig in on it, that would be a bad idea because she will hurt you. You don't realize, how mean Lauren can be when she gets angry. So don't anger Lauren because you think I'm mean to Bubbles. Oh my God! Just wait until Lauren digs in. She'll ride you like a bareback donkey. She'll just put on them spurs and go crazy. Mm-hmm. Just telling you, be careful. Careful what you ask for there, Bubbles. Um, Prediction 3. MAGA wins bigly. This is already beginning to show through. Trump's historic election day showed us that we, the people, or at least enough of us, no longer trust the mainstream media. The communist bootlickers like Joy Reid can no longer point their fingers through the TV at Trump and his MAGA crew while yelling racist without looking like a bunch of numpties we've known them to be. Trump swung most of the nation's counties and a record number of black voters to the right. The days of pretending Trump is a racist boogeyman are almost over. Prediction 4, your Aunt Gladys will never stop voting for Democrats even after she dies. Some people just can't be saved. That said, more and more people will stop being afraid of what's being called a transphobe if they oppose a confused young man in pigtails spiking a volleyball into their daughter's face. Tipping point Rama, courage is contagious, so never be afraid to lead the way. Americans are beginning to realize that diversity, equity, and inclusion is nothing more than a sinister subterfuge by Marxists to implant talent-free, easily controlled, useful idiots into positions of power that they could never, ever achieve on their own, at which point the low-level pinkos will do what they are told. And most important lesson people are learning is this. White supremacy is an existential threat to Biden claimed it is, and Islam is not the religion of peace that George Bush said it was. The globalists spent decades telling Westerners that we are Islamophobic, and if we question why Muslim wackos keep killing us, we're indoctrinated to remain quiet as Islam, which I believe is a big partner in the New World Order, spread throughout the planet and began raping and or slaughtering people they hate, all while screaming Islamophobia. Hamas' grotesque October 7th attack on Israel showed the world what Islam is all about, and we now see that those who excuse this violence are not well-meaning social justice warriors, but are complicit in the attempted takedown of the Western world. And as our own Lincoln Brown recently reported, a 13-year-old UK girl was arrested for public drunkenness, but even 7 Pakistani men were with her were not. It's difficult to read also. This isn't from 10 years ago because it's recent. And Lincoln wrote, the British police were called to a house after a neighbor heard screams. They found a young girl naked and drunk with 7 Pakistani men. They arrested the girl for being drunk and convicted her. They didn't reportedly even question the men. That's a little bit unreal. Left ideology is nothing more than the latest attempt by Marxist toilet dwellers to enslave the world. Please forward this article to your normie friends who think both political parties suck and chose to remain neutral. Trump's reelection isn't the end of our problems. It's merely the ability to begin the fight to save us from communism. And if you have any predictions, post them in the links below. Oh my God. Oh, geez. There's so many things that I want to cover, but I really can't today. Oh boy, oh boy. Okay, I don't know what Bubbles' nickname is about, but I actually a little bummed because I thought y'all were saying a Powerpuff Girl finally wanted to meet you. Oh, well, the reason he's called Bubbles is because Bubbles is a clown. I didn't think calling him Deuce Foreskin was appropriate. Although the more that the gobbledygook that comes out of his mouth sounds like it was pretty damn appropriate. So just saying. Yeah. It's too bad the little Powerpuff Girl didn't want to meet you. I'm sorry for that, Lauren. Really am. It is unfortunate. He needed to be. It's going to get busted. Just let's put it that way. So it is now Trump's party. It is the House speakership vote this week was anticipated to be prolonged and contentious ordeal, raising concerns about potential constitutional crisis if a speaker couldn't be elected in time to certify the 2024 election before Inauguration Day. Instead, it became a testament to Donald Trump's firm grip on the Republican Party, usually with both hands and probably doing stroking motions. Make no mistake about it, this isn't the GOP of old. It's Trump's GOP now. If the events surrounding Representative Mike Johnson rise to the speaker's gavel, only make that more evident. Trump backing of Johnson was not just casual endorsement, it was a strategic move to minimize drama and unify the party at a critical time when he needed the Republican Party to be unified to get this country back on track after 4 years of Biden and Harris's complete and utter debacle. Initially, Johnson faced a dozen holdouts, threatening another round of Republican disarray. In the end, there were only 3 holdouts during the first vote, a remarkable turnaround that can be traced back to Trump's influence. In fact, nearly a dozen members of the House Freedom Caucus sent a letter to the Republican colleagues explaining that their decision to support Speaker Johnson and keep him in his leadership role is ultimately driven by President-elect Donald Trump. 2 holdouts, Ralph Norman, Keith Shelf, were eventually switched their votes, while Norman initially attributed his change to reassurances from Johnson about fiscal priorities, and the reality was more telling. I said, Mike, are you going to give us specific examples of fighting for the things we mentioned? Will you give us your word? He said, yes. I said, okay, well, take it your word. And that's why I changed my vote. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. However, that wasn't the entire reason. It turns out on a phone call from Trump, it was the middle of a golf game, no less. Sealed the deal. Yes. Norman told CNN that he had a conversation with Trump ahead of Friday's vote. He said, look, I'm in the middle of the golf game, Norman said. Then he explained how Trump asked if he had voted for Nikki Haley in the presidential primaries. And Norman said, he replied, yes, sir, I did. We're with you now. And I said, we will be with Mike Johnson. Spokesperson for Norman confirmed to Newsweek that he had 2 conversations with Trump on Friday before Johnson secured the speakership. He ended up switching his initial vote after Speaker Johnson reassured him that getting our fiscal house in order is priority for him as well, so that we can move ahead and focus on Trump's agenda for the next 4 years. The episode underscores Trump's unique ability to bring even reluctant members of the GOP to heel. Representative Thomas Massey was the lone dissenter at the end, but Trump's intervention ensured all other Republicans rallied behind Johnson. His ability to consolidate the party's support not only avoided further chaos, but it also signaled a promising future for the Republican agenda for the next 2 years. More importantly, this is a positive indicator that Trump can keep the GOP united as he embarks on a mission to clean up this effing mess by Joe Biden. With the House Speaker firmly in place and the party showing signs of cohesion, Trump has set the stage for a unified Republican effort in the months ahead, and let's just hope that it lasts. Not sure, Nancy. I went over that a little bit on Saturday, but I ignored anything related to the GFM or General Laura situation yesterday. That's good. And if you guys haven't subbed up to Lauren, go give her a nice sub up. She talks about a whole bunch of different other court cases and does not give 2 damns about bubbles at all. Really, unless it's a Powerpuff Girl, and then she's all over it because who doesn't want to make out with a Powerpuff Girl? Nah. Jeez. And speaking of Powerpuff Girls, we're just going to give you a little bit of dance, a little bit of smile, and we'll be back in just a short bit.
Time to shine. I'm feeling the groove with these hips of mine. Hands in the air like spaghetti gone rogue. My knees are jelly and my hips just broke. Shaking it, breaking it, what a blast. your ass, step up or stand aside. My shoulders pop like a rusty hinge. My fingers point like they're on a binge. Twirl like a tornado, then drop real low. It's not planned, it's a shit sideshow. I've got the rhythm of a clock that's broke. My dance floor moves are a big effing joke. Shaking it, breaking it, what a blast. Wobble it, wiggle it, shake that ass. Do a jig or a jog, wiggle it to the side. Or break that hip bone by moving your ass, step up or stand aside. Mesmerizing glow. You can't help but watch me steal the show. I summon the shake, the shimmy, the twist, a mix of genius and a big old fist. You're drawn in close, your feet start to twitch, feeling the groove like a broke ass bitch. Yeah, shaking it, breaking it, what a blast. Wobble it, wiggle it, shake that ass. Do a jig or a jog, wiggle it to the side. Or break that hip bone by moving your ass, step up or stand aside. Now we're all in the shake, no need to be shy. Move like spaghetti and reach for the sky. We'll dance like we're cursed, laugh to a sore. Shizzy whiz nut reigns forevermore. So join the dance, let your weirdness unfurl. We're shaking ass, not a care in the world.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. It's so, having so much fun with you guys in the mornings. That's the bad part about the weekends is I don't have this kind of fun on the weekends. I'm usually waking up late from getting completely wasted the night before. Not true, but people want to talk and say that I'm an alcoholic. Well, sure. I'll take that ghost licking. Your doggies are dancing. Yeah, see, these things happen all the time. I feel like I've been busy with the kids recently now. Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Zach is probably out trying to catch a fish for his new profile pic, or he's freezing his ass off. One of the two. Miss that dude. Yeah, Zach's good people. Zach is good people. Okay. The ghosts of January 6th, the final humiliation of Camel Toe Harris. Forget about the Babe Ruth in the 1932 World Series. The greatest called shot American history is coming tomorrow. January 6th, 2025. Well, it's actually today, but the day that Congress will constitutionally required to certify the presidential election that was supposed to signify the ultimate triumph of good over evil. It's a storyline that the Democrat Party, liberal influencers, and the mainstream media had meticulously, painstakingly crafted on the anniversary of January 6th, the same day Donald Trump led a violent insurrection and nearly overturned our democracy. The American people will finally shook free of this fascist, racist mindlock, atoned for their sins, and elected Camel Toe Harris, the first minority woman candidate, as our next commander-in-chief. And oopsie, Babe Ruth's called shot, which might not have ever even happened, was an impromptu thing, and it wasn't planned in advance, but the Democrats called shot of January 6th. Oh, baby. This was called 4 years ahead of time. Everything was leading to this one climactic moment, and quite literally billions of marketing dollars were spent on the propaganda campaign. The media was working overtime. Just like Babe Ruth in the 32 series, this was supposed to be the moment that validated our hero's epic journey. Only difference is Babe Ruth hit a home run. The mighty Democrats struck out on a different timeline. January 6, 2025 was going to be glorious. The media would run harrowing retrospectives on Trump's insurrection in 2021 with scary, foreboding music playing in the background. All the liberal talking heads would piously tell the cameras how close we came to losing our freedom, and it was the most dangerous day in America since the Civil War. They'd solemnly insist, and the media, of course, would nod in agreement. And they'd sigh in relief, chastise those stupid American people one last time, and pat themselves on their inglorious backs for the final defanging of the evil MAGA methods and saying, "We did it, guys." It was all supposed to culminate in the sitting vice president, the lovely and talented liberal Kamala Harris, presiding over the certification of her grand historic victory. Oh, the screenplay was so perfect you could almost imagine Camel Toe grinning from ear to ear, the Democrats applauding while wiping tears from the eyes, and the Republicans finally admitting the errors of their ways. To paraphrase Scooby-Doo, they would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for losing those meddling voters. Zoinks! Alas, the American people read the screenplay and threw it in the garbage. It sucked. Fortunately, the president-elect was already driving a garbage truck. Well, rewrites and reshoots are part of the modern Hollywood process. In the latest version of the January 6th story, our plucky heroine won't be certifying her historic presidential victory, and she probably won't be doing a lot of grinning. There's still to be Democrat tears. However, instead, she'll be presiding over the victory of Donald J. Trump and the definitive rejection of the insurrectionist narrative they worked so damn hard to build. There'll be plenty of pictures now, lots of viral moments, plenty of second guessing, maybe even a few clever quips. But no matter what, that screenplay ends with Donald Trump certified as the next president, J.D. Vance certified as the next vice president, and Camel Toe Harris standing front and center, surrendering her gavel to the GOP. What a story. For Republicans, the ending was sort of predictable. For Democrats, it felt like one of M. Night Shyamalan's wacky plot twists, and they have whiplash from the suddenness of it all. And it'll be a very long time until they call a shot. Well, unless it's Camel Toe, she'll call it to the face. Just saying, because the next most epic January 6th is coming. January 6th is about to take on a whole new meaning. It's going to infuriate the left. It will be impossible for it to ignore on the anniversary of the day that the left labeled insurrection. Congress is set to certify Donald J. Trump as winner of the 2024 presidential election. Timing could not be more symbolic or satisfying for Trump supporters, marking a victory that defies years of legal and political warfare aimed at stopping his return to power. And it's not unlike the leftists to start screaming and shouting because they're also saying Trump didn't win the popular vote. Interesting. And their refusal to face the reality has hit a fever pitch. Despite their inconsistent cries about defending democracy, they've proven time and again they only respect election results when they win. The results of the 24 presidential election have laid bare this once again. As you know, Donald Trump didn't just win, he won decisively. He not only won the Electoral College, but he became the first Republican to win the popular vote since George W. Bush in 2004. Yet many on the left are clinging to false narratives, unable to accept their candidate. Camel Toe Harris was soundly defeated. And this isn't exactly shocking since the left hasn't truly accepted the results of a presidential election they've lost since 1988. From Al Gore in 2000 to Hillary Clinton in 2016, the pattern is consistent. When Democrats lose, they cry foul. Spin conspiracy theories and refuse accountability. It would have been foolish to think the 2024 election would have been any different. After months of media hype and left-wing experts like election Nostradamus Alan Lichtman and the famed Democrat strategist James Carville assuring the left that Camel Toe was guaranteed to win, her loss sent shockwaves through all their echo chambers. Instead of self-reflection, Democrats and their allies have doubled down on the denial. And it is today. It is today when they're going to certify that election. No matter how people try to fight it, it's going to happen today. And that brings me to this wonderful point. There's a possibility tonight I may not be covering any of the what the hell's thing. Just depends on how the day goes. You'll you should know something by, I would say about 4 or 5 o'clock tonight of which one I'm going to be covering, because there is I guarantee there's going to be so much news out there, and I already have the wonderful Dictionary Diva planned to join me for the some more reading of the wonderful Shara deposition. You're welcome to tune in tonight. That should be happening about 10 o'clock tonight. I will be doing a stream. Like I said, I don't know for sure which one I'm going to be doing, but just know that if you've got that notification bell turned on, you'll get notified when that happens. And oh my, I will say that the toothless ones, what I mean by toothless is there are a lot of bark, and bark they do, and very little bite. Their shit's unraveling, and they haven't been able to control the narrative anymore. It's become very apparent and very clear how their lies have are starting to tear everything apart. Because first you would hear, oh, that's not us. They have no idea who they're looking for. They're looking for the wrong people. That's not even my last name. And then it changes and changes and changes. As they stir their stew of bullshit, it gets spread all over the place. When you're going to dance to that song you just played for us, that will never happen because I can't dance. I have two left feet and both of them are in my mouth most of the time. Just saying, I can't dance. Well, actually I can't, but we don't do that stuff online. You see too much jiggling for me. That'll never happen. Come on, Lauren, you met me. You'd see that stuff jiggle all over the place, because I'm enormously fat, and it would be horrible. It would be horrible. You would laugh too hard. Well, I don't want to good. I don't want to see good dancing. Well, well, for you, Lauren, I do a lot of things. Oh, by the way, you guys, Lauren is an absolute sweetheart. She knows that I can poke fun at her and myself at the same time. Shizzy, you shake those hips, please. No, you won't. You won't see a whole lot of dancing on this stream. Maybe this time next year you'll see some dancing on stream. There will be. I've got to do some. I got to do some serious getting back in shape. Got to do some serious getting back in shape before that happens. I got plans this year, guys. Give me a break. It's still too early. I need coffee if I'm going to watch this. I'll get some tight biker shorts into it. No, I won't do that. That would expose way more than your eyes can handle. I'm not showing that. You got to get my pants on first. Yeah, that's true. I do have to put some pants on first. There would be too much to show. Way too much to show. Now, there's also something else that you guys will have to keep in mind coming up shortly. There's Judge Merchan is sentencing Trump on January 10th, and as they reported on Friday, Judge Merchan scheduled Donald Trump's sentencing to the so-called hush money case on January 10th and indicated that jail time was never seriously on the table. The entire case against Trump was absurd from the beginning, so much so that CNN's legal analyst Ali Hyung declared last year that the case against Trump was an ill-conceived, unjustified mess and accused prosecutors of contorting the law to rig the trial against Trump. So they're saying that his sentencing is not going to. Judge Merchan set Trump up for sentencing shortly before the inauguration, as some of us predicted. He is indicating that he'll impose an unconditional discharge without jail or probation. Turley wrote on thread on X, the sentence will finalize the case and allow for an appeal. However, it would also label the president-elect a convicted felon just before he is sworn into office. Is the final cathartic act for lawfare warriors. Merchan will supply the talking point for the inauguration coverage as reporters repeat the mantra of the historic status of Trump being sworn in as a convicted felon. Turley continued. There is, however, a silver lining. Yet we will also be able to see the appeal of the case. While there are low expectations for the New York court system, the sentencing will allow a full array of alleged errors by Merchan to be placed before appellate judges. And hopefully, this shit doesn't happen again. Had Trump not run for president this past term, you would have seen none of this happen. There wouldn't have been any talk of going after him. New York wouldn't have changed their laws just to go after somebody. The amount of lawfare that people use is pretty damn sad. Speaking of lawfare and pretty damn sad, it looks like this week there is a possibility, very big possibility, that we will get more information about what's going on with a certain group of people that have been running this neat little ecosystem of taking down one person that they don't like, because they don't like people to succeed. They are more interested in condoning and on the other hand belittling other people that don't condone the abuse of a child. And there was something that I wanted to cover this morning, and it's pretty heartbreaking. It was in December 23rd. December 23rd. There were two. How should I put this without sounding completely horrible? There were two maps that were nailed to a wall for 100 years. That is the best way to put it. That abused children in the worst possible way while they were under their adoptive care. The news media didn't really talk about it because it doesn't do a whole lot to bring these kinds of things up. But there are people out there that were condoning this and cheering them on for their brave and bold behavior. Luckily and unfortunately, they did manage to remove the children from this. And when I say it's unfortunate that it ever had to happen to children, there are some real evils in the world, and when people condone this kind of action, it is heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking to know that they destroyed the lives of two children permanently. Not just a small amount, not just a little amount. It's permanent psychological damage that's going to happen to these children. And seeing the way that the amount of abuse that is happening, and it's not an isolated case. This isn't isolated in one instance or another. This is happening all over the world at the same time. Abuse of children is a very egregious step that adults take that should be discouraged at every stopping point. And watching and hearing the words that come out of a certain person's mouth about the way that they're going to treat their children, and then watching someone cheer it on can really piss you off to no extent. So whenever I hear this kind of thing of people condoning that kind of abuse, it makes me very concerned. Makes me very concerned about the welfare of a child. And as I've said multiple times before, don't get involved in this. There's people that are already handling this, and if you try stepping in there and getting involved by reaching out to people and going after them, you're going to find that it's going to look a lot like Everest. It's going to look a lot like Mount Everest. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about, let me just share this with you. Right? Yeah, give me a second. And I'll share this with you. This is Mount Everest.
Camp. The dirty camp. Ever. Cleaning replay.
Imagine Imagine. It's filled with human waste, excrement, and it's an absolute mess. Yeah. Yeah, I take a breath. Yeah, I take a breath. And hopefully it's not the breath of that fresh air, but this is people that have climbed up to Mount Everest and have just completely trashed the place. This is the state that they leave a mountain. And you don't see it because, well, who else is going to climb up there? But I do want to also show something that was shared with me by the wonderful Volstorm. It says, New Jersey eliminates literacy requirements for state's teachers under Act 1669. Individuals seeking an instructional certificate in New Jersey no longer need to pass a basic skills test for reading, writing, and math. Previously, teachers needed to demonstrate a 6th grade proficiency. Yeah. Imagine that. But there is some good news. There is some good news coming out of the Capitol. And as you will see, this is the good news. As Miss Lady Smug here stands and delivers her news message. You're gonna love this.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
Okay. Since the January 6th attack on the US Capitol, when supporters of Donald Trump stormed this building, trying to prevent the election victory of Joe Biden from being certified. On the anniversary. Oh my God. Oh God, Sam. Oh.
Oh, but if you haven't seen it, there's this is a not Valhalla moment, just so you know. This is a not Valhalla moment. If you haven't seen it, go over and check out the stream that Valhalla did with his baby goats. And then Dictionary Diva had to jump in there and do the same damn thing and show Valhalla's goats. But this is not Valhalla's goats right here. Like little squeak toys. Little squeak toys. It's so beautiful. But I'm wondering how many of you will see this coming. Okay. Speaking of some weird things to see, this will be one of the weirdest things you see today. Weirdest things you're going to see today.
First time I saw this, I was like, bro, what is this?
Oh, my hands are cold.
Here he goes.
Yeah.
Here he goes. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What do you think's going to happen?
Put your hand.
Oh my God. Okay. So as I started out this stream this morning, I did want to show you this. Right here. Be prepared to brace yourself for this. And this comes via the History Channel. Via the History Channel.
It's a reality show that pits teams of elite soldiers from around the world against each other.
Matt and Tim from the U.S. Army Special Forces, better known as the Green Berets.
Matthew Livelsberger and his partner Tim Kelly, both Green.
Yeah. Interesting, huh? Yeah, I bet you had no idea about that. Did you notice they worked together? Interesting indeed, don't you think? Very interesting indeed. Yeah. Tim forgot about this. Uh-huh. Yeah. Interesting. Interesting stuff, isn't it? It's very interesting. But I did find somebody that doesn't know how to use cameras, and this is going to show how they don't know how to use cameras. Observe. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Pretty cool. Watch. Oh, where do I find this kind of stuff? One has no idea. One has no idea where I find all of this. Ah. Oh, and speaking of weirdos with cameras, it's warped. Why? Why? Because there's been all this talk of cameras, but this really caught my eye. This really caught my eye. Imagine this. Imagine this.
Hi, how you doing? I was wondering if you had a chance to talk about those cameras in the back, by the pool.
Who are you?
I'm your neighbor.
Okay.
I was wondering if we could discuss those cameras that are pointing towards our house.
They're not towards your house, they're towards my pool.
But we don't know that.
Well, I know that, and that's all that matters.
No, it does not.
Yes, it does.
I'm not, ma'am.
No,
I'm asking you.
What is your problem?
Well, because I have cameras too, okay? And I know the range. I know the range. And we have kids up there. And there's not supposed to be any cameras in the backyard. That's your safe place. You can have cameras in the front of your house.
You have a lot of nerve telling us where to have my cameras around my
Well, because they're pointing towards my house.
You know what? You should have moved in here with kids. How about that?
What do you mean?
You're in a 55 community.
It doesn't matter, ma'am. It does not matter, ma'am.
Did you forget?
It doesn't matter.
What parent takes kids into a neighborhood like this?
What do you mean? It's not a safe neighborhood for kids? Is that what you're trying to say?
Uh-oh.
You're coming to me with your problem.
No, I'm coming because the cameras are pointing to my house that I have young kids.
You know what?
Why don't you have them on the other side pointing towards your house?
You have a lot of nerve coming here and telling me how to mount my cameras.
Yes, because they're pointing. I don't feel safe that you're pointing them towards my house.
Call the cops and see if it's illegal. I don't think so.
Oh,
ma'am.
Oh,
no.
I'm trying to be friendly because we're neighbors, okay? I really am. I'm just asking if you can move them to the other side to point them to your pool, not towards my house. That's all I'm asking.
First of all, you don't even know what you're talking about.
I do know,
no,
man.
You don't.
The cameras.
Hello. Hey. Hello.
One's pointing up.
Hello.
And one's pointing down.
Hello.
You got.
Hello.
You got. Sorry, we're not moving our cameras.
What an idiot. What an idiot. Hello. Hello. No, that's not friendly at all. 55 and older is no children. Yes. Yeah, it's a 55 plus neighborhood. Yeah. Yeah, you guys pick up on that one too. Yeah, denied. It's like, go get a fog machine, dude. There you go. Karen versus Karen. Oh, yes. Very much so, Rosalind. If I had children in 55 only, then yeah, Karen versus Karen. Hey, Volstorm, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. Good to see you. Very, very good morning of you today. Yeah, I wouldn't be advertising it. Yeah. Hi, Funston. Yeah, good to see you. That's an old man version of bitch face. That is an old man version of bitch face. Speaking of old man version of bitch face, we did manage to catch this happened over the weekend, and this right here is what happened. Yes. Yeah. Oh my God. Oh. Guess living with mom or dad, HOA he's living with mom or dad, HOA will kick them out. One can only hope. There's a reason why people move to a 55 plus community. Usually there's a reason, but other reasons have been found why people move into these these communities, and I had no idea about this. There's a little coat of loofahs there, which is really odd, especially whenever you're talking about a place like the Villages. Oh my gosh. They hang loofahs, and each one of those has a specific little color coding to them that show what kind of kink that you're into. I mean, fly your freak flag, whatever you want to do. That matters not to me because I don't partake in any of that stuff. That's your own thing. But it's amazing to me that people have those. They have these little freak flags that they like to fly out and then deny, 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 and then they get called out time and time again of oh no, it really shows the lies get brought out. So believe only half of what you hear, and only all of that you can confirm. And oh, the confirming comes a long, long way. Usually in the from the sound of the rain that you're about to hear this week, because it will be rain. Good morning, Mayor Dan. Good to see you. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Enjoying a hot cup of coffee. 20 degrees here this morning. Yes, it is supposed to get in the 20s here today. Currently, it's raining. It's as warm as it's supposed to be, but by this evening, we'll be dropping into below freezing balls sack below. I do not like the cold. I do not like the cold at all. I want it warm. I want it cozy. I want it to be nice, comfortable for everybody. And I will say that today is going to, like I said, it'll be an interesting day to see which way the freak flag flies. Today is going to show either we're going to have a nice, peaceful day, which we only can hope happens. We only hope that we have a nice, peaceful day going into the vote count, or it's going to be an absolute shite show. Either which way, we're going to be streaming tonight, 10 o'clock. And if I'm running late, it's only because, I'm getting down. Just saying, pay attention, see what's going on throughout the day. If it all turns to hell in a handbasket, then we won't be streaming the stringing Snowing Lightly had a foot on Saturday. I've had 2 feet since I was born. Just saying, 2 feet since I was born. But that sucks, man. Having a foot of snow, I don't envy you at all. Everybody needs to stay safe out there. This is the time of year where it's going to be, a little nasty. People are stuck inside. They're cold. They're, not feeling all the love that there is out there to offer, because there's lots of love to offer. Lots of love to offer. Lots of love to spread around. Usually, in the nicest way, we try to spread love around. We've got, like I said, an interesting day planned for you. No matter which way the wind blows. I did manage to see what Jeremy had dropped. That was after my stream last night. Running on ×2 was pretty epic, and oh my, that's and you have to understand, these are the kinds of things that I personally have known about for quite some time. I just chose not to talk about those on my stream because they don't matter to me. It just so you guys know, I don't follow every single little thing that's happening. I do have limited bandwidth, and I don't have this massive crew that works for me. I do get some nice emails from you guys, which is always good to see. Also keep in mind, sometime this week, hopefully within the next few days, I will have things set up so you can well, let's put it this way. There's going to be some things moving along pretty quickly here for my channel. I'm going to have a hopefully a place where you can mail me like all kinds of things, and have my storefront set up for the YouTube, so you'll be able to get some merchandise pretty soon. Thank you, Rosalind, for kicking me in the butt and telling me that I need to get this shit straightened out. So I'm just, there's a couple of things I have to take care of before I do that. So it's in the works. There will be some merchandising coming soon, very soon. I showed a little bit of it off last night. I'm not going to show it off to you today, but just know that it'll be pretty cool stuff. I'm enjoying putting it together. And am I going to have beanies? Yes, I will probably have beanies, but I don't know how fast their shipping is on this, so we're hoping that that the beanies come out pretty soon. And just know that I'm working on all this kind of stuff in the background, and hopefully by the end of this week I will have some good merchandising for you. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. We're going to try to keep it light. Shizzy bobblehead. Yeah, I want a Shizzy bobblehead. Well, I'll have to figure out how to do those because, well, you'll have to. It'll be interesting if I do one of those. A bobblehead. Well, not a bubblehead, a bobblehead. Oh my God, Robert Tower. When we have the nasty stuff, I tell my dog it's okay if he doesn't go down the steps. I'll clean the porch. Yeah, mine did not want to go out this morning because it was raining. He said, "No, I don't want to be there. I don't want to be there. I don't want to be there." But luckily, he managed to. Well, one of them managed to go out. The other one, he has no problem. He doesn't care. Raining, sleeting, snowing. He's just like, I don't care. I'm going to come in and I'm going to shake it off anyway. So it don't matter to me none. Anyhow, everyone have a wonderful day. The plan is, like I said, 10 o'clock tonight. Tune in. We should have some good show for you. I don't see going any earlier than that, unless it just completely all goes to shite today, in which case I know that Tug will be doing, well, I don't know for sure, but more than likely Tug will be doing a stream this afternoon or this evening. So, and mine generally follows behind him at some point in time. So just keep that in mind as you go about your day. Know that we have too much fun here. Too much fun for it to be legally allowed, but we try. And with that, everyone, you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you very.
Bless your heart. I thought I was the only mentally challenged one here.
And shine, coffee's brewing, feeling fine. News is out and on the air. Shizzy Whiz nuts wild, but we don't care. Morning Whiz and Coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy Whiz nuts, start the show. Let's go. Get it, yeah, oh yeah. Headlines spinning in the breeze. Stupid jokes, he's such a tease. Sip the Java with a smile. Pants are off, but stay a while. Morning Whiz and Coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy Whiz, let's start the show. Let's go. Get it, yeah, oh yeah. Headlines spinning in the breeze. Stupid jokes, he's such a tease. Sip the Java with a smile. Pants are off, but stay a while. Morning Whiz and Coffee. Talk the news, he's a tease. Laugh it off, we're on the go. Shizzy Whiz, let's start the show. Let's go. Get it, yeah, oh yeah. Serious is overrated. Every day we're caffeinated. Talk the town, but in a jest. Morning Whiz is always best. Time to run. Morning show's a load of fun. Grab your mug, don't spill a drop. Laugh your ass off till you pop. Clock is ticking, time to run. Morning show's a load of fun. Grab your mug, don't spill a drop. Laugh your ass off till you pop.
Oh my god, Shizzy breaks Larry. Shizzy broke Larry.